Welcome back to Sports on Tap. I'm your host, James Lee, with my co-host, Kyle Johnson.
What's poppin'?
And my co-host, Ryan Fahey.
Hi.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Mine was working late last night.
Dude. I went from 6 at night. I got home at 5:30.
Way to be committed.
Committed?
Proud
dude,
of you.
No, dude. I'm a whore for money.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
I
will holler for $1.
20.
I will holler for it. Shout out to Kayla for that tidbit. At midnight, she said that. I was like, don't ever say that
Holler
again.
for $1.
So we're going to be talking Bucks-Rams first off. Get right into it. I didn't really get to watch a lot of the game, but what I saw of highlights, the Bucks just did not look the same.
A little bit of sloppy football.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have AB. That's your number one.
Yeah, you took my first
He's
point.
not.
He's absolutely his number one.
No way. Mike Evans is a better receiver than
Either
Antonio
way,
Brown.
but if you take one of his top one or two, I don't like. You still take away a number 2 receiver.
like,
This is a fucking wild take. No, I
That's
don't
not
think
wild,
that at
kidding
all.
are
I
you?
don't think that at all. I think-
AB's the slot guy. He's the number 3. Evans is getting the number 1.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry.
Chris Godwin is the number
weird,
2.
Weird. Where a slot guy couldn't be his number one. Who was his number one in New England?
Gronk.
Stop. Gronk was. It was Edelman. It was Edelman. Gronk was like he was more dominant. It was Edelman.
What?
The slot. The AB.
Okay, I don't think Antonio Brown's one, but
Yeah, absolutely. He is.
okay. We're talking top 3. No, I think it's number 2.
I'm just saying they were 2-0 with AB.
Anyways,
But yeah, so Bucks-Rams.
Just saying.
Bucks-Rams. I think it's more
Bucks-Rams.
Bucks-Rams.
Say it again.
Well, Bucks-Rams. But Antonio Brown was out. JPP also didn't play. That's a big hit to the defense. Plus, their defense secondary is.
I was about to say, yeah.
Defense is
the-
This game showed that the Bucks do have weaknesses, and it's totally in their secondary.
It is.
They can't cover shit.
Well, we take out 2 of their top secondary players.
Well, Byron
that's-
Murphy won't play at all. I mean, his elbow was literally sticking through the skin. But yeah, it's a little bit of sloppy football. Offense looked okay, but the Rams, the biggest takeaway for me, the Rams are probably my new Super Bowl favorites. They look phenomenal.
I'm still riding with Tampa just because Tom Brady. I'm done. I cannot vote against this guy. I mean, we talk
It's
once
fair.
again. We talk about
It's
this
fair.
guy almost every week. I feel like
It's fair.
just because he does it over and over again. But I think you bring JPP back. That brings. I think it's at 2 EPs. But I think you bring him back. There's more pass rush. There's a veteran leader on defense.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And bring Antonio Brown back because if you give Tom Brady more and more weapons, then I think he's gonna be fine. The Rams though do look pretty complete.
Rams are legit.
What is their weakness? They have a great offensive line. You have 2 top 5 defenders with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. Now that you have a legit quarterback in Matt Stafford, who Ryan called MVP, I'll let you talk about that in a second. Cooper Kupp and him, their connection is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It just
Feel bad.
maybe their only weak point is the run game.
Even that. Though.
I was gonna say, but when you have such a strong passing game that they put
imagine
together,
if they had Cam Akers still.
imagine if Todd Gurley never died.
Well, not just that. I mean, I know they traded for Sony, and Sony can pick up the blitz. We saw that blitz pick up last night. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like Sony. Like he's just, I don't know. He just kind of,
We wasted a first-round draft pick. It is what it is.
yeah,
It leaves a bad taste in our mouths just because
Yeah.
it was we're Patriots fans, so that's
right.
why.
It just, I don't know. But you got Stafford. Your run game can come second.
It is unbelievable how much. So watching Stafford ball out this year so far it just goes to show how babied Jared Goff was.
Yes.
Because Sean McVay, like Stafford does anything, and McVay is like literally sitting there like, I love you. I love this bread. He's literally like. He's like every time Stafford does literally anything, like he'll make these Aaron Rodgers level throws. Like it is, like if Matt Stafford was playing against us in the Super Bowl, 53, I think it would have been a totally different game.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Like, it would
I
have been-
said that a few episodes ago.
He did.
Matt Stafford in that Super Bowl beats the Patriots.
I genuinely think so. Like that read
It's not
where-
even a question. Like not even a question. That ball gets to Brandon Cooks even before Brandon Cooks stops.
and
running.
this goes to show Sean McVay is a phenomenal coach.
Oh no, we knew that when he had Goff.
Is he also
But
the
now
GM?
it's-
Is McVay the GM too? Is he in that situation or no?
I don't think so.
The one thing I think we took more away from the Rams this
definitely
week
not,
than
yeah.
the Bucks.
Yeah, we know the Bucks are good.
The Bucks are good.
it's-
What we learned about the Bucks is their secondary is rough. I think bringing and once again Antonio Brown and JPP back, that's going to help. Great.
Their strength is their
Awesome.
front seven or front
seven for
yeah.
the Bucks, yes.
Yeah.
But the Rams, you learned that it's like, okay, they were just that quarterback away from being a legit contender. They already were before with Jared Goff, and now you've upgraded it.
Think about it this way. The Rams could be the Buccaneers of last year. Hear me out. Let me piece this together. Hang on. Let me piece this together.
There's puzzle pieces.
The Buccaneers, right, had Jameis Winston. The defense was already there. The offense already had the pieces. Tom Brady comes in to this team the next year. Same team. They go on to win a Super Bowl. The Rams, this is the same squad from last year, but they had Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford comes in this year. Holy shit, they're a wagon.
I mean,
It's the same. It's nice to see Stafford balling because it proves me, you, and you right that Matthew Stafford was a dog in Detroit. In the most positive way possible, a dog.
He's the only Lions good player that got out of that situation.
Yes.
How old is he?
He's got to be mid-30s.
No, not
he
mid.
might be.
Not
I was
mid.
gonna say
No,
he
he's
might be like
32?
30, 31.
32.
I think 30.
I say look
Hey
that up.
Siri. That didn't work. Okay, hang on.
But
How old is Matt Stafford?
the big point I want to take away too, though, with the Rams is everyone like kind of
33.
33.
The big thing with the Rams, though, everyone kind of like makes fun of them. It's like, oh, you haven't had a first round pick in like 4 years, but it's like, yeah, you also have Jalen Ramsey,
Trying to
you have
win
Matt
now, yeah.
Stafford.
Top
Like
of the
it's like,
division
yeah,
for a while.
but they're not doing bad trades. It's like they're giving up top assets for top players. You literally have debatably the number one cornerback in the league to go along with the
I would
best
say
defensive
so,
player in
to
the
be
league in Aaron
honest.
Donald. I mean, it's one or two. Like, it depends on the week. But really, he's 6'1", a freak of nature. The Rams...
I was just saying, he's physical as shit, too.
I know.
Like, he'll go and hit somebody.
He's like a middle
will.
linebacker who can cover just as good as like Stephon Gilmore. Like Jalen Ramsey is probably the best corner in the league.
I think so.
Right now, yeah, I would
Right
say
now.
so. Once again, two at worst.
Well, Gilmore's not even playing, so he's out of the equation.
But so that's why I would say two at worst, and I think he is number one right now.
Yeah.
The Rams are just so complete. I think we learned that they're legit contenders.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we already all knew that once they added Stafford.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to see them beat the defending champs, because it's like, well, we were talking about like, what if the Bucs went undefeated? The Rams just said no.
This was the game.
The game where if they were going to lose, they were going to lose, and they did. The Rams came in and said, hey, we are here with you. Like,
I think
we are on that level.
This game, as far as like power rankings for me, I think elevated the Rams right to number one.
I mean, you have to.
I don't know, only because Bucks weren't fully healthy, and keep in mind they also called Josh Gordon. Let's not.
Did the Bucks?
Yes,
Are you?
Oh my
fucking
God!
kidding me?
How many receivers can you have?
they did call up Josh Gordon.
Tom's like, get me another one.
So if they face
Scotty Miller's like, what the fuck?
So if they face,
he's literally like, what do I have to do?
Scotty's like, can you just please?
if they have to face them again, they're gonna face they're gonna have Antonio Brown there again. And if they face them again, it's probably gonna be NFC Championship game.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, and so now they have to deal with AB and then the rest of the receivers and possibly Josh Gordon. And if Josh Gordon is anything like half of what he was, that's still a problem.
That's like a seventh option we're looking at
Yeah,
now.
and Josh Gordon's, I think, probably still young. Like, he's been suspended
He's gotta be like
17 times, but it's
29?
fine. Yeah, exactly.
29?
But the fact that you just give Tom another one, like you saw what he did with Josh Gordon in New England, and Josh Gordon was debatably the number one receiver there at the time.
Yeah.
So now that you move him down to like third, fourth, or fifth option,
Bro, he's like the sixth.
this is what I'm talking about. You just keep giving Tom.
You just fucking
weapons.
line everybody up outside, and you're like, what?
Who does Jalen Ramsey cover? Mike Evans, Antonio Brown.
Probably Mike Evans, because I think
I think physical size you'd have to.
Well, Mike
jump
Evans
balls.
Was
Mike Evans
was he on
one-on-ones.
Mike Evans yesterday?
I would
Not
assume
that
so.
what I saw. No.
Okay, because like that's what I remember our stardom Sims. I said sit Mike Evans because I thought Jalen Ramsey was gonna like be draped all
Blanket
over.
him.
Now
yeah.
he might have been. I didn't get to watch the whole game.
I didn't either. I was thinking that only because like Evans went off the week prior, and I was like, "There's no way McVay's gonna let that happen." So I figured he was just gonna have Ramsey's gonna do cover like just
Yeah.
man. So that's what said sit him, but he kind of went off. But which is why I think he didn't.
I don't know.
I hope this is an NFC Championship game because I think it's going to be even better.
Yeah, I
want to
see
are going to
round
be
two.
healthier, and the Rams are just.
This gives me.
The Rams are a relevant LA team.
This
Before,
gives me
it was
like.
what?
Oh, I would.
If they play again, especially in the NFC Championship, this gives me like McGregor Poirier vibes, like how they had the 2 fights or the 3 fights rather. But like,
It was 2. That third one.
I think everyone's just
Third
trying
one
to
is
find
what
like
it is.
Tom's rival because everyone's like,
it could be Matt Stafford. It really could. At least this season. I mean, there's no perfect rival for Tom Brady. It's
God,
Tom
it
Brady.
was Peyton
He's
Manning.
the,
It was Peyton Manning, but like that's,
and not even anymore because it's like
Tom's still going.
Brady is the anomaly. He is the.
And the NFC is just stacked with QB talent.
Oh yeah,
Brady, Stafford, Rodgers, Wilson.
Yeah,
yeah.
the Rams are just good. Like that's.
Yeah.
I think we. But
Wait, the Cardinals are NFC, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Fucking Kyler. Like
Kyler
I mean,
Murray's
the
balling
NFC
out.
is ridiculous.
Actually, they're 3-0, right?
No,
Yeah.
they lost one game. I think 2-1. They're 2-1.
Cardinals.
They're 2-1.
Who did
right
they-
now. They're
Who
2-1.
beat them?
I don't remember, but I know they're 2-1. They're 2-1. Because
I-
the amount of undefeated signs I've seen, they're 2-1.
I
You know,
think
you know another
Look it up.
team that's 2-1. I know we're not on the notes, but another team that's 2-1 that I'm like, Bengals. What the? How?
because Jamar Chase is that dude.
You gave Joe
Well, dude,
Burrow
they're-
his man. You
Okay,
gave
but their
Joe-
O line is horrible.
Right, quarterbacks can make up for that. That's why.
Joe Burrow.
That is not true. Look at Zach Wilson.
First of all, that is the Jets. Never.
You
the-
say it.
ever.
Incompetent franchise. doing
Incompetent
things.
franchise doing competent things.
And
Look at
Jets-
look at
Jets are down
Never.
there.
Sam Darnold.
Jets are down there.
Sam Darnold is leading the league in
They're
passing
on the
yards.
ground. They're below that.
Sam Darnold is balling out.
That's what I'm saying. So the Jets are the problem.
The Jets are
The
the problem.
Jets suck.
Absolutely.
It's
Jets.
a Jets problem. No one can make up.
But look
for
at
the
their
Jets.
their O line is. I'm saying their O line is probably just as bad as since. Although at least Cincinnati addressed some of their O line and it looks a little better.
See.
Look,
Give Joe more than 0.2 seconds, and he has a shot to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got your boy in Jamar Chase.
I'm
who
glad
is-
actually he looks like the injuries not
Falling out.
affecting him.
I love that.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
especially because it's Joe Burrow, and I love Joe Burrow as like just a talented QB. He's going to be great.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you though. I called it before the season. Matt Stafford's gonna be MVP.
Yeah,
And he
Yeah.
looked 345, 3 touchdowns. I mean,
Against
dude,
the defending
also
champs.
actually, you know what? You brought up what is their weakness? Health.
it's all.
It really is.
Because Cooper Kupp's gonna get hurt.
Don't say that.
Oh.
Don't
Stop.
knock on wood right
I'm-
now.
I'm not just saying. Like, I'm not. Listen, it's the kid's made of glass.
He is fucking holding my fantasy team above the water right now.
And hear me now. Trade high,
Don't do that.
Kyle.
Stop.
Trade high.
Ride him until he dies.
Well, it could be soon. The only problem because he gets hurt every year.
Speaking of what, dude, Devontae Adams yesterday I thought was fucking dead. Do you see that shot over the middle?
Yep, got knocked out.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely knocked
Came back
out.
into the game.
I was like, you should not be in
what
that game.
concussion protocol did you say that? But he made 2 on the last drive. It was him that saved
Yeah,
the
I
day.
know, but like health.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, trade high in Cooper Kupp because he's gonna get hurt.
I can't.
That's the
do
only
it.
weakness the Rams have is their health.
I
They
can't
need to
do
stay
it.
healthy. Oh god, I know for a fact Brady's pissed right
Here
now.
we go. This is
And
what
that's
And I
well, you
know
know what I'm
Brady's
getting locked and loaded
pissed
for?
right now.
dude. That's
coming
the
up.
worst. That is the worst thing about it because Brady's gonna come in and smoke us.
Buccaneers
next week.
versus Patriots. It's not even like everyone's getting hyped up for this.
It
game,
is like it
but
is gonna be like
Tom-
45-10.
Tom
The
is
only reason-
pissed off. He
45 to
doesn't want
10.
to lose back to back. He wants to go to Bill Belichick and just give him the big old bird.
Dude, this is gonna
45 to
be
10.
such
If that.
it's gonna be such a weird atmosphere because you know he's gonna
gonna get a standing out.
Brady does it at every stadium. He comes out, he runs out, goes to the far end zone, and goes like, "Let's fucking go!" Just all that
That's
shit.
just what he does.
The entire stadium.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be
split.
electric.
Ain't no way. Let me
No,
split.
are you kidding me? He's gonna get a standing O.
He
Dude.
should. He 100% should.
It's not gonna be-
because he
dude,
won
it's
6 for this town.
It's gonna be 95-5. That's the split.
That's how
95 in favor.
it should be
for Brady.
100 because
Those 5% are
Let it
the
go.
morons
Let
that
it
think
go.
Brady did anything wrong.
It's like,
Listen,
dude,
listen,
he
you
won
fucking,
you 6 rings.
Let it go.
You have to walk like that. He did it.
every
it is
every relationship is gonna break. They all end in.
it is
They either end in marriage or they're messy.
it is clear as
I wouldn't-
day now that he was the real reason why
Yep.
we had 20 years of dominance.
Yes. And no disrespect to Bill, but like Tom was making the throws.
Because like it'd be one thing if like he went to the Bucks and they were first place. No. Brady had to win 3 road games and then win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's with a brand new team first year.
Oh, and he went through Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers.
Went through the second best defense, then Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, like only he can do that. It's now clear as day that this is the reason why we had the success that we did. Great. Kudos to Belichick for like being able to find like little pieces that work here and there.
It's Tom.
He's the dude.
It was Tom.
If you don't have the dude, it's not going to work.
Now, do you think Bill and Tom talk on the field? And when I say talk, like in this game, I don't mean
they
like...
kiss on the mouth.
No, okay, no. It's not his son. But I mean, and I'm not saying like going over and be like, hey, Bill, how's it going? Like, I'm not talking like a respectful handshake. I'm talking like, do you think they actually sit there and have a legit conversation at all? Like, do you think there's bad blood?
I think there's bad blood. For sure, because especially because look at what his dad said the other day.
Like, I think...
His dad's been running his mouth for so long.
Brady was like...
This guy always runs his mouth, but like, his son backs it up.
Honestly, not real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, towards Patriots.
No, that's it. That's all he does when he runs his mouth.
Just like it's been really recent.
Well, to be fair,
he's not in there anymore.
To be fair, it's like Bill made the wrong decision. Bill clearly was like I don't think you're going to continue this dominance. I want to move on. It is what it is. He's the GM. That's his decision he can make. But it was wrong. It was dead wrong. Brady is getting fucking better every year. His dad was basically, because they asked him, they were like, "Oh, is it like bad blood or whatever?" Or was it? Do you think Tom came out and it was what did he say? It was like, do you think Tom came out and like they had a little vendetta or whatever? And like his dad was like, "Oh yeah, like it is."
I think they respect each other because they did.
There is a mutual
no matter
respect.
No matter how you put it. I know we say like Tom is definitely like the bigger reason for the dominance, but I mean, Bill's no slouch. Like, let's not forget, like, Bill is still a good coach.
He's the greatest coach of all time.
Exactly, and they have to respect each other of what they did to make each other great as they are. That's why they're relevant. They have brought each other to that level.
But Bill never... He's the fact that you're still treating Tom Brady like he's not Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. He's the anomaly.
If they were separated, say Tom went to another team and didn't go to the Patriots, Tom would have been more successful than Bill would have been in that 20 years.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think it's blatantly obvious at this point.
Well, it's because Bill's record without Brady is pretty trash.
And it's like now,
what is the? I don't know what the
it's
record
under
is.
500.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's sub 500.
Well, to be fair, when your entire offense is designed around Tom Brady and anybody else is in there, it's going to look.
Well, I mean,
so this is also the thing
Tom Brady makes the right reads every time. Tom Brady makes the right throws every time. Like nobody will ever be as good as Tom Brady at QB. No, there'll be more physical, like
Rodgers has more talent.
Yeah,
that's
I still take Tom 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, 100%. Because of the mentality. Imagine a quarterback with Brady's mentality, Rodgers' talent.
We've said that that would be.
Imagine that.
It's you'll never get that because they're one of ones.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's a one of one.
I'm just saying, imagine the combo of both. That would be the perfect quarterback.
They wouldn't lose. They wouldn't lose.
Even better, bro. Kyler's running, Rodgers' arm, Brady's mind. You're done.
You wouldn't lose.
You would never lose. That dude could literally play the entire field by himself.
That's my career player.
That's literally like when you
with
just
the sliders
jack it up.
Slide it, yeah.
99 everything. You would not lose.
No.
Do you think the Patriots even have a chance?
No. It is going to be 45-10 calling the score right now.
Let's not forget, Tom played against that defense in practice for 20 years. So what are they going to do to confuse Tom Brady? You're not.
The only way...
I think... I don't know if he it was... Okay, so I don't know. He definitely didn't practice against the Patriots defense. Their practices, they did schemes that the other team has done. He didn't face the Patriots defense.
But you don't think he knows that defense inside and out?
Belichick is going to have to pull some of the craziest defensive schemes out of his
which I mean he can definitely do. I mean we saw it in the Rams Super Bowl.
But
he confused the shit out of the Rams.
If I'm
that's Jared Goff, which we had just talked about.
Yeah.
But
technically, that was that Super Bowl was Sean McVay versus Bill Belichick.
Yes, it was.
That's what that was.
I mean, yeah, but defensively, it was what was it?
Patricia.
Wade Phillips.
Nope.
Wade Phillips.
Oh,
Wade
yep.
Phillips is like Brady's kryptonite.
What I would,
Besides that one.
what I
throw, bro.
wish would have, I wish Gilmore was in this game because that would make it even more interesting. Because if Tom Brady could
Dude,
pick
we are
apart Gilmore
going
and
to-
Jason,
Yeah,
Jackson,
if we could have a guy that could actually like lock
Cover.
up Mike Evans and then.
J.C. Jackson's good, but like
Lock
okay,
up
so
Mike
put-
Evans. We have to deal with Godwin, Evans.
But that's what I mean.
Antonio
At least
Brown,
if J.C.
And
Jackson
Gronk.
is on,
and Gronk.
if J.C.
He's hurt,
Jackson
but-
is on Godwin or AB,
It's just not.
it's a better scenario than
I'm
Stephon Gilmore.
They're hyping this game up so much.
We're fucked. We are so.
they're literally hyping it up
Tom is
like,
going to bend us
oh.
over,
No,
and
it's only hyped because Brady's coming back to Gillette.
exactly. No, that's
it.
why.
It's not because it's going to be a good
No,
game. The
ev-
Bucks are gonna
especially
run
after what I just
the
saw.
Bucks
too.
are going to run a train on this team.
Everyone is
Yeah.
literally like, oh,
Legitimately.
like Tom Brady's coming back, this and that, and like I hope it's a good game because that would just make for better
it's
content. Like,
not.
just,
It's
no,
going
it's
to
not.
be a fucking.
It would just make a
Should
better
be a
narrative.
nightmare for
it would
Pats
be a
fans.
better narrative if it was a competitive game because then it's like, oh, well, look at this
Bro,
duel.
Mac-
It's not going to
enjoy,
happen.
I'm going to enjoy the shit out.
Oh,
of it.
no,
Mac-
this will probably be the
I'm
only
going to
time.
enjoy I'm watching Brady just pick apart this defense.
This will be the only
I'll
time I
be
love
wearing.
watching the Patriots.
I'll be wearing my
lose.
Brady jersey.
Mac
Happy as shit.
Jones
Watching my
too.
team lose.
Watching last game, it was really a kind of a big reality check. I think for Mac Jones, like a welcome to the NFL.
These are the big dogs. Like
He's
this
a-
is a
yeah.
legit
I
team.
know.
The Saints are
First of
Super
all.
Bowl contenders.
Don't even get me started on that shit because I think that was the game plan was shit from the get go.
But as far as like Mac Jones, like the 3 interceptions, one wasn't his fault. The last one on that final drive was his fault. He's trying to force things to happen. I mean, I guess it is what it is.
That was,
No.
I don't even like really count that last one because it wasn't like we needed 2 touchdowns. It was 40 seconds.
But he
Yeah.
threw it right at him. Like
Yeah.
I think his composure.
No,
I think what we
he threw
saw.
it at Aguilar, but like he just
It was like 3 feet in front of him. Marshawn
Behind.
Lattimore. It was like in the red basket.
no
of Marty.
Aguilar overran the ball. Like he was running and the ball went that way.
How do you
Yeah.
overrun? He
think
missed the throw. He missed the throw.
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
it is
I-
what it is. But
I
I think, regardless of the interception, I think the point is that we watched his composure break. We watched.
No, I don't think so at all.
If you watched him at the end of the game, this was how he was sitting. I mean, it was a bad game, but he's literally sitting just like this, head down, like.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
how is he
focusing?
How else
Tom
do you
does
want
that all the
how-
time.
It
I
was
know, how-
at the end.
How else do you
Homie.
want someone to react to a
Homie.
loss?
I think also
I-
Tom Brady does that
smile?
all the time, and everyone's like, "Watch
you're missing
out."
the point. Let me fucking.
no, I'm not missing.
He-
But you said he lost.
We watched
Kyle.
Mac Jones lose his composure.
No,
He
we
went from
didn't.
the.
That's how is that losing
I don't
composure?
think he did at all. I think
That's
he
not
just
losing
was under a
composure
lot of
at all.
pressure.
Yeah, and he lost it. Like when you see Tom
Yeah, 'cause
Brady
he's
when
running for his life. That doesn't mean he lost his composure.
Homie,
He's working with
homie.
what he has.
fuck no, he literally
He did not lose his composure.
Yes, he
at all.
did.
Kyle,
That
that's
last
not losing,
drive-
That's
I
not
don't think
losing
he did.
composure.
Losing composure is when you're just making.
When you lose your mind, he was just like, because he lost a game. Like,
No.
I'm
yeah, that's
pissed.
not losing
He-
composure.
I think watching him at the end of the game, body language, watching like
That
how
looked
he
like a guy
performed,
who just lost a football
he
game.
looked defeated. No, he looked
'Cause he
looked
literally got
mentally
defeated. He
defeated.
lost.
Because he literally got defeated.
No, I did. I mean, yes, but I think it was more so.
The game was over.
I don't think he looked mentally defeated.
Okay, but
At
even the
all.
way he played, like watching him, like he was
Again,
trying to force things. Like that
game
throw
plan.
was bad.
Sometimes you have to. Though.
I'm
When you're down
talking
by
about
that
the
much,
last drive.
Yes,
though.
we
That
both know.
last-
We
when
both know what you're
sometimes you
talking
have to
about.
force those when
He
it's
was
not
just throwing it down
necessary.
there. Like,
But that's
there
what I
was-
mean. That's not how you.
Yeah, we were down 2 touchdowns
I
with
get it.
30
You have
seconds left.
sometimes you have to risk it for the biscuit.
He just
homie.
When
That-
you're talking about you're down that much,
Kyle,
you have
that's
to
not
try.
what
you,
losing
you have to
composure is
rely on
about.
I
your
watched
teammates to
him.
step up.
I watched him that last drive get into his own head. I watched it happen.
How the game was done.
And then, but that's the thing. He was defeated too. Like he was like, I
How-
think a better quarterback, or not a
Remember,
better,
he's still
but a
rookie.
more,
Like, this
more.
guy's allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's a welcome to the NFL moment. I'm not saying he's
That
not
doesn't
allowed to.
mean
He's going to be.
That doesn't
He's
mean he lost his
bro.
composure.
Can I fucking talk? You guys are pissing me the fuck off.
well, because you're
like,
saying he's
geez-
losing the composure when he didn't. And
Dude,
this is not true.
yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He literally was going through that last drive. Okay.
Yeah.
Making bad throws, bad reads. He's in his own head, and then the end of the game, he looked completely defeated. Regardless what the score was, he looked like he just got mentally like abused out there. And I get that one of the throws was off Jonnu Smith. That's not him. That last interception was horrible. That was 5 feet in front of Nelson Aguilar. I don't care.
Behind.
That was in front.
It was behind him.
No.
Yes.
If you look.
Either way.
Lattimore jumped in front of him. Either way.
No, dude, Aguilar literally went.
Either way,
That's looking behind him.
Either way.
Either way, didn't lose his composure.
Yes, he did.
He
He was-
looked
he
like
looked
a guy
like
who
a
just
guy-
lost a football game.
He looks like a guy. Yeah, it was a welcome to the NFL moment, but it's just
he didn't lose his composure.
And I'm not saying,
I think that's him being like, oh wow, there's like some clearly top tier talent here.
I'm not saying that,
You acted
like he's not allowed to make mistakes. I get it. Like he's a rookie. He's young. He's younger than us. Like he's like.
Actually, he's 23.
He's the same age as us.
It's
Either
our
way,
age.
it's not like you're not allowed to make mistakes. But I think he literally he was fully and utterly like, oh fuck, defeated, head down, the whole nine. Like I think he was in his own head.
I feel like you're acting more like it was like the Sam Darnold ghost game.
Kind of.
No.
That last drive, you absolutely saw it. That's Sam Darnold. Okay, but Sam Darnold bounced back. I'm not saying it's not possible, but like there was.
I think it was more welcome to the NFL than I lost absolute composure.
No, but I watched Mac Jones play horrible.
He wasn't
those
bad.
Those last two drives where it was like down to him and like he needed something to happen. He's forcing balls.
First of all, actually, whoa. The last two drives, the second to last drive, he threw a touchdown to Bourne. What are you talking about?
The toe tapping one?
That wasn't the second to last one though.
It was the second to last one because then the Saints had that long ass drive.
Yeah.
And then it was the last possession.
Yeah,
So the last two drives was a touchdown and then an interception.
Yeah, I'm more.
So what composure are we talking about?
Yeah, I think it's more welcome to the NFL.
Because that throw to Bourne was big dick shit.
That was a great throw.
Yeah.
Great catch,
so what composure? That was a bigger touchdown than the last drive. Because the last drive, game was over.
I genuinely think the game was over. I agree.
Yeah.
I think you're putting too much pressure on him.
I didn't like what I saw at the end of that drive. I did not like what I saw.
Was nothing
I did not like the way
you're expecting.
I'm not.
He looked upset because
the way he handled himself, I think, was poor. I think it was very. I think it's something he needs to learn.
I don't think so at all. That's how you should look after a loss.
Not defeated. Like keep your head up.
What? No, I would go back on the. I would
focus on the film. Like learn. Like
the game ended on the game. The game ended on an interception. It's not a good feeling. I go back to the bench and go, put my head down too. I do the same thing.
Yeah, especially because he knows
he didn't like the game. He didn't go to the sideline, look at McDaniels, and go, "What are you doing? That's losing your shit."
Right,
and then yelling at your teammates. That's losing composure. He sat down and tried to collect himself.
I'm saying mentally, like that last drive, he was already defeated. Okay,
yeah, I think already it was over.
Okay, but I don't like the way he handled it. Is what I'm saying.
I think also though you're going from we had Tom. Everybody, Cam Newton is just like a filler thing that happened. I think we're so used to having Tom Brady around, where it was just like, oh, he's once again 1-1. Being like down, whatever. He's more
it's tough,
and that's a different composure.
First of all,
and it's tough having to compare him.
It's also way different because Tom Brady ran that that's very different levels. Where you're looking at rookie Mac Jones,
it's
I feel like you're just expecting him to be that elite level.
I'm not saying he can't make mistakes, but I'm saying the way he handled himself, I think, was a big like I really hope he learns from it because I think last drive he missed like 3 throws, overthrew Aguilar. I think Bourne on the right side.
Well, first of all, he was overthrowing Aguilar all day anyway.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like, this was such a learning curve. I think Mac Jones is farther behind than what we actually think he was. Like, I get he's like everyone's like, oh, he looked good and like NFL ready.
Dude,
but
first of all,
in reality, he has not put up phenomenal numbers. He's put up consistency.
Yeah, that's because of the like play design.
He is exactly
McDaniels is pissing me off.
He's exactly what the whole Patriots team is. It has young talent, but it's young. It's not experienced yet. Like, it is young talent that is out there trying to be a good team. It could be something one day, but it's going to take time. Like, everyone's like, we want a Patriots Super Bowl. That's not happening, folks. It's not.
There's a reason why Mac Jones actually looked better when we actually needed to start throwing the ball like farther down the field than 5 yards.
But he really didn't.
That drive with Bourne?
That drive with
that was a good throw and a good catch. I will give him full credit.
Drive, dude. That whole drive was big. That drive brought them within a score.
Yeah, but what what do you mean? So he had the one good throw, but like where did he?
I'm sorry, we're saying the whole drive.
The whole
drive.
Why
are you just eliminating every play before that?
They didn't just get the ball at where he threw to Bourne.
Yeah, but you're just saying like, okay,
but it's not like he was making like crazy deep. He was making good reads. Is what he was doing on the last drive.
Yes, perfect. And then when he needed to, he made the big dick throw to Kendrick Bourne, and then Kendrick Bourne made a play to get the touchdown. That drive is exactly what we're talking about.
I'm talking the last drive. The
Hi.
last drive.
Yes.
Where he was missing like 3 throws. He missed at least 3 throws on that last drive.
First of all,
and then that last interception was putrid.
Neat.
Horrible.
Game
that
was
his
over.
fault.
Game was over.
I know it is.
No, literally.
But I don't like the way he
handled
handled it, is what I'm saying. That last drive.
What else did you want him to do?
I'm going to be honest. I think you're putting too much pressure on the kid.
100%.
I'm not putting any pressure on the kid.
point
I'm pointing out the way he handled that last drive was piss poor. I get the game was over. But even the way he handled himself afterwards on TV, he looked like a defeated little kid.
Because he just lost.
That's ridiculous. Kyle, that's literally ridiculous. What do you want him to do? Like do jumping jacks?
No.
I don't.
I want you to keep your head up. I want you to fucking understand.
Keep your head up. Brady doesn't even keep his head up.
Yeah, what are you talking? You remember the last
Brady is 1 of 1.
The GOAT doesn't even keep his head up. You want a rookie to keep his head up after losing a game?
He's allowed to be upset. Now, if he comes into next week looking like that, that's different. But he's allowed to be upset after a game.
If he got off the field and then threw his helmet literally at the bench.
No, that's one thing. That's
losing composure.
Yeah. I don't think he lost it on the sideline. Like, I don't think he was like losing his mind on the side. That's not what I mean. You were saying he lost composure because he put his head down. Yeah, I think he looked like a defeated little kid, and I don't want to see that. I want to see him I want to see him act like an adult. Like
every quarterback puts his head down after he gets defeated.
Why can't they? They're allowed to look defeated because he was defeated.
It's immediately after the loss. If he was bitch moaning and complaining the rest of the week,
that's not how I would have handled myself. That's all. That's kind
I've seen you on a bad golf day. That is 100% how you handle yourself. I've seen you throw a club 50 yards.
It went farther than the ball.
Exactly. So I don't agree with that statement at all because I've seen you when you have a bad day.
It's not true.
Oh my God!
I'm not even going to get into this, but that is a blatant lie. What I'm hearing,
bro. I'm just
whether he means.
I mean, no. I've had bad golf days, but I don't like
50 yards. I've seen this club go.
No way I could throw.
Okay, maybe not that far, but like I've seen you huck a club when you had a bad shot. And you're playing against yourself because I'm not there to golf. I am, but no.
I'm also not a professional level anything.
I get that, but that's still the same mentality of like being defeated.
Mac Jones, and I don't want to see that out of my fucking quarterback.
Mac Jones has more composure when he has a bad game than you do on a bad golf day. That's what I'm going to say.
I'd rather see my quarterback know that he took a loss. He could have played, he could have played a little bit better. I'd rather be able to know I see that. Like, oh, he knows he could have done a little bit more.
Now, if he was like legit crying, that's when I'd be like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, that would be.
That's when I'd be like, what? This is not like high school Thanksgiving Day. What are we?
But he looked like he just lost an NFL football game, which is exactly what happened.
I put a lot more of the loss on him than I think you guys do. I really do.
Why?
Well, no, I think he made mistakes. I agree.
He made a decent chunk.
No, it was his worst game so far.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not allowed to make mistakes. Of course he can make. He's a rookie. It's his 3rd NFL game. Welcome to the NFL. I totally like.
The big statement I will agree with is this was a welcome to the NFL game because he played well against Miami and he played well against the Jets, which is great and all. But like those are not.
I mean, if you're not beating up the Jets, fuck you.
Exactly.
Get off the field.
But it's like those are not legit teams. Miami's
legit.
They have to show it though, and they haven't. I mean,
they're middle of the pack.
But what I'm saying is like, okay, so we did that. Now we're talking about real contenders because that's the goal. You want to win. Mac Jones went up against his team and goes, "Oh, this is like next level. This is the real welcome to the NFL. This is where it's like these are real players that I have to go up against. This is not just going to be beating up on incompetent franchises. Not that Miami is, but they're just not. They're not at that next level. They're like, where the Saints
they're middle of the pack.
Are.
I think the Saints are.
I thought it was blatant that the game plan was trash from the get-go.
I do think McDaniels needs to open it up more, but I also don't think we should take all blame on McDaniels.
Listen, here's my gripe with McDaniels. When he calls a bad game, my fucking God, it's bad. Like, bad.
It's hit or miss.
For some reason, he keeps trying to call toss plays. We haven't had a toss play that has gotten over a yard yet this season. We've called maybe 15, 16.
I also hear when they do wide receiver screens.
Also,
you don't have the talent.
Keep in mind, you want to talk about game plan? We were James Black, I heard, get it. We were handing the ball off to Bolden. Brandon Bolden.
The fact that he's still on the fucking team.
He was a special team. Great.
That's literally
like neat.
I hate him.
There's other running backs. Hand the ball out to other running backs. I follow Brandon Bolden on Twitter. Interesting dude. Interesting. He's liked a few of my tweets. It's fine. Regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So weird.
He's an interesting fella. Regardless. He called that play. This is what I'm talking about. like, why are we doing that? Like, he makes questionable decisions after questionable decision. It makes when it's bad, it's bad. That's a prime example.
I will agree that Josh McDaniels either has like a perfect game plan, like in the Super Bowl when it was like on the fly in Super Bowl 53, that formation they made literally on the game,
right?
Ingenious. And then you do have games with like this where it's like, what are we doing? Why did we?
And I'm telling you, it wasn't until we needed to start throwing the football that we looked better. We looked better when we needed to. It wasn't like when Mac threw that, when Jonnu flipped the ball up for the pick six.
I don't blame Mac for that. That was Jonnu Smith. He fucking sucked that game.
It was his like worst game.
That was the worst game I've ever seen him play.
Out of him, 100%. But regardless, that play alone, like whenever Mac was throwing it earlier in the game, or like I should say earlier, like this was like the first play at halftime, after halftime, really, that pick six. It was almost like when he was calling pass plays, it was just so to get Mac to throw the ball. There was no meaning behind it. Like there was no meaning. And then the pick six happened. We were down 2 touchdowns. And then McDaniels was like, maybe, let's see what happens when we throw the ball down the field a little bit more. Wow. Kendrick Bourne gets a touchdown. Mac Jones looked kind of decent.
Now, do you think it's more he doesn't trust Mac Jones or he doesn't trust the receivers?
I think
the receivers.
I would go with receivers because it's. I
don't
want
to fucking N'Keal Harry on that last drive. Like,
no, N'Keal Harry's not playing. Right?
He was out there on the last drive.
No, he wasn't. He doesn't. He's
who's 15?
Nelson Aguilar. They changed. N'Keal Harry's number
Harry's
one
number
now.
one, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's dumb.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
That whole time I thought that was N'Keal Harry.
Nelson Aguilar. But that's the thing is like I just don't think they trust the receivers. Well, especially after what the tight ends did yesterday, they were just god awful. But I think there's less faith in the receiving core than.
Well, that was
in
horribly
Mac
just
Jones.
offensively yesterday. That was.
I just think they're babying Mac Jones a little bit too much.
I don't think it's because of him though. I really think it's because the weapons around him.
I think
Then
they're
what
like
the fuck did we pay all that money for? Kendrick Bourne. The fact that Kendrick Bourne. That's his like first catch. Like this whole fucking. This is the first time I've heard his name.
Dude, I'm telling you, see what happens when you just release, like unleash Mac
Rip it
Jones.
and rip it.
Unleash him. I mean, granted, he threw the ball 50-something times. That's an actual stat. He threw it 50-something times.
And that's disgusting because we
and
should
it was
be
honestly
totally running the ball.
And about
Well, when you're
25
behind. That's why.
and about
I know, but
25 of those passes came in like Garbo time, honestly.
Well, it's because they have to do what they can.
Yeah.
They have to do
But,
what
like,
they can.
I'm telling you, that touchdown to Bourne, that drive, that's what we're looking for. That drive was fucking just. It wasn't like we were down like 4 touchdowns and then he made a good drive and you're like, oh, that's interesting.
It made it
when a
realistic.
team is like, when the defense would be like, oh, we're up 4 touchdowns. If they have
Garbage
a drive,
time.
whatever.
Legit garbage time.
That was a big drive. It brought them really back in the game. Like the defense was still playing their tails off, and he still went down and drove and got a passing touchdown. That's what we're talking about. And I want to see what it would have looked like if the defense got a stop. But my God, we came.
I mean, the game. Yeah, as soon as the defense didn't get the stop, the game was over.
That was
I mean,
over.
you knew it.
Yeah.
There's no whatever. But I think once once they scored in that last drive, I think that's where like my whole point to that was that's where I watched Mac Jones. Like that last drive, he was already defeated. Like we can agree with that. Okay.
It was like 2 minutes
I don't
down,
like
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
but I think the last drive showed the difference between like the drive before and that one. Like it showed the difference. Like he got in his own head. He was missing throws on that last drive. I mean, I get it. It's garbage time. None of it really mattered. But he, in the game, got in his own head. That was my point. That's where I think his composure was lost.
I don't know if that's getting in your head.
Or just he was
Or
done
just
with the
like-
game, which I'm not a fan
But
of
it doesn't-
either. I'm not a fan of
That's
it.
the thing. You're in your own, like mentally, like that's like fucking you're pitching and your team just gave up 7 runs and it's like, am I really going to go out there for the last inning and like,
Well, first of all, baseball's way different. And we both know that.
but as
I
far as
understand what
me,
you're
like
saying.
when
why is the other side of the ball not helping me?
as far as me, not even that, dude. As far as like me,
Well, yeah,
when I would go out there and
Definitely,
fucking,
yeah, I don't even think it's that. I think it's like we have literally like 2.5 minutes.
even
without
though the
2
game's,
touchdowns.
even though the game's over, I don't like that last drive. I don't like the way he handled it. I think he was missing throws. I think that interception was all his fault. I think Like there were a couple different ones like that. The difference between when he was in the game and when the game was over. Like I totally understand the game is over. Like it's not the end of the world, but that's where I'm saying he lost his. Like he was defeated before the clock was at 0, and I don't like that.
This game is a learning curve.
It is a learning curve. That's the whole point of like the welcome to the NFL.
Welcome to the NFL.
Because it was
learning
over.
curve.
I know, but still, if Brady was in that situation, or Rodgers was in that situation, or Russell Wilson was in that situation, he would have gone out there and it would have been.
I don't think Rodgers is in the game.
No, well,
I think.
But I'm saying it's a
hard.
different premise.
I think those aren't fair comparisons. I know what you're saying because you want him to be this elite level guy, which I do too. But I think it's unfair to compare him to Brady and Rodgers. And I mean, I guess we did that last week or the week before when we said we liked the Mamba mentality in him.
And I think he lost it.
I guess we should. I do too. I think
he did really. The game was over.
I think you're looking at it more.
I know the game
and also,
was
I
over,
don't think, and I also don't think
technically
you
wasn't.
Are using composure correctly because I don't think he lost composure.
Composure is if he's losing it.
If he lost his goddamn mind. That's
So then, all right. So then he lost. So then he got in his own head. Fine. If I think
that's I don't know if he got in his own head. I think it was more like he accepted the loss before the game ended.
It
was like
I'll accept that answer more.
Yeah, that's
which is not bad because it was over. It was over. Like literally, once the Saints scored, I was like, "This is done."
Well, I mean, we all knew it.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there. I'm going. They can't even get a fucking field
goal. That was
goal.
legitimately like a 6-minute drive with like 8 minutes left. I was like, "God damn it!" Like just one stop. That's it.
Yeah,
I think if Matt got the ball back with like 5 minutes left. Well,
to be fair, we shouldn't have even been in that game. 2 more field goals and 2 possessions already.
I mean, we're not talking about that. The kickers suck anyway. Kickers
is what
you
it
find
is.
a kicker at a grocery store. It's whatever. Like, actually, funny enough, you can find a quarterback at a grocery store too. Shout out Kurt Warner.
Taylor Heineke, actually.
That too, yeah. But still, I think giving Mac the ball back with like 5 minutes left would have been a different story.
Yeah.
He would have been. If he still had a chance to win the game, I think makes better throws.
Well, I would have liked to see it. We won't know, but I think
it would have been interesting if he then drove down and then like they didn't get the touchdown, and then he was sad about it. I would have been like, that's soft. But if he was pissed that he didn't come through, I would have liked that a lot more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
My whole premise to that fucking tangent, I probably didn't explain myself very well, but I don't like that he was mentally defeated before the game was actually over. That was kind of my point. Like, I don't like... I
think we'll have to agree to disagree on this. I don't think he was as mentally defeated as you think. I think
the throws showed it on that last drive.
I think it was more welcome to the NFL. I think that's the bigger
and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's going to be a bad quarterback. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying...
He was definitely just trying to force it.
I want him to learn from it. I want him to understand that, like, you can't do that. Like, that last drive, say he makes 2 incredible throws, right? And then they're down whatever. They're like on the 5-yard, like say instead of that pick, Nelson Aguilar gets that catch, right? They fly down the field, they run down there, next play, touchdown, onside kick, they're back in the game. They got to make a couple, like the game's not over. You know what I mean? Like there is potential for them to win. Very little, like 2% chance, like then it's probably not going to happen. I just don't like the way he handled that last drive.
I really don't. It's literally a learning curve. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what you can take away from the game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also it was like literally 2 minutes left, and like
I agree. It was
start hucking it, and then they at that point they put way too much on him. At that point, they like that because they started having the game. I think the game. Everyone knew the game was done.
That was a welcome to the NFL moment. That's really what it was.
I think that's all
I'm saying. Yeah,
I would say I think we've said all we can.
Yeah,
we've
going in circles at this point.
Yeah, I would say we're beating a dead horse. Final topic of the day: Raiders. No one's talking about them. Are they legit?
Yep.
We'll see.
I want to talk about the. We'll see. Great answer. Great answer. That's like when the Family on Family Feud went. It's like spaghetti, and it has nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Show me Picard's flute.
I mean,
so they beat. I'm gonna go through the teams they beat.
Yeah.
They beat Ravens 33-27. That's a legit win.
Great game.
Great game.
They beat Steelers 26-17. I want to get into that a little. Dolphins 31-28.
No Tua.
No Tua. The Ravens is a legit win. The Steelers one I like a little just because that defense is legit. I think TJ Watt was in that game.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt.
Then he got hurt?
I think he maybe got hurt in the middle of the game. But that's only one player of that they still have a good defense.
Pittsburgh's going to be
Pittsburgh
fucking
has a
ass
good
this
defense,
year.
but their offense is the only 17 points. So Derek Carr is the big thing where, like, again, yesterday, he had 380 something yards and like 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr's legit. We've gone over that.
Yes, because Miami's cornerbacks are legit. So that's nice to see.
And I think Derek Carr, it gives the whole team something to rally behind where it's like, oh, our franchise guy is back. He has returned. So now
he never left, bro. The problem with the Raiders for the longest time is they just couldn't figure out how to win close games. They would be contending, and then they'd make 7 stupid plays in a row.
I think he fell off a little, and when I say fell off, it's just like he was in that MVP conversation.
I don't blame Derek, though.
I think I understand there's other things going on, like bringing a new head coach in John Gruden, and then moving to Vegas. Like,
and that defense was
horrible
horrible for a while.
So, but I think Derek Carr kind of fell off a little, but now he's like back. The whole team is back. I think they're finally where they need to be. I think Derek Carr is the big thing to take away is he is legit. So he is the legit piece behind this team.
To argue that he even fell off, his stats over the last he has been nothing but consistent. He doesn't throw interceptions.
When I say fell off, I mean took a step back. He just kind of he wasn't.
He absolutely.
He wasn't as relevant.
He was in MVP conversation.
I never thought he was bad.
And the reason he was out of MVP conversation is because his team wasn't winning, and his team, regardless, if you're putting up dead stats, it's like it's dead stats. You know what I mean? I don't think Derek Carr ever fell off. I think he's always been consistent. Look at his stats, his career stats.
I think he took a step back with the team.
No, I think the team failed him, and now I think the team is coming back around. And
I don't know.
There's a reason the Raiders have never looked to get a new quarterback. It's because they knew they already had one.
That's fair, but they also have now actually started surrounding him with pieces.
Exactly. The team is doing
Ruggs. I mean,
exactly.
I love Waller.
I love fucking
I love bread. I love this bread.
But
the Raiders are. I think the biggest thing for the Raiders this year that we're seeing is some of their draft picks are actually panning out. Josh Jacobs is a good running back. Even yesterday, though.
Carl Nassib and Max Crosby.
They have a pass rush.
They have exploded. I mean, they were solid the last few years, but you didn't really hear about them, but it was just those young guys.
Max Crosby
that duo
is phenomenal.
Oh, my God. That is
crazy.
They can stop the run. They have a defense that is actually supporting the... I mean, I don't think the Raiders are Super Bowl contenders, but I think they are legit. I think the Raiders are a playoff team. They're leading the division right now.
Which they share with the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Which are 1-2, which we can talk about that after if we want. But the Raiders, I agree with they're legit, but I don't think they're contenders because once they go up against a lot of, once again, big dogs, legit teams, the Ravens win is impressive. Steelers, I kind of like it shows for the offensive side.
What's their schedule?
And then the Dolphins, it's just you let Jacoby Brissett put up 28.
You let Jacoby Brissett take it to OT.
It's you better than that.
What's the Raiders?
You better be literally better than that. Oh, awesome! Let's just have
the Chargers.
That is Monday Night Football. They're playing the Chargers, so they're going
division game,
big game,
huge
test.
And Justin Herbert just showed that he is also legit.
Yes.
So they're going.
We knew that.
I know that,
Justin
but
Herbert's dog.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If the Raiders win again convincingly this week, not even convincingly, because if they go up against
if they grind out a dub.
If they go up against the Chargers at their peak.
If this game here was the Chargers game, that's a huge dub.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But they let Jacoby Brissett put up 28.
Jacoby's no
total
slouch.
Yeah, total side note, Jacoby Brissett is probably...
You could take Tua's job.
Yeah. There's I think he has gotten the short end of the stick quite often.
He really has.
With the Colts and with the Pats. He's done nothing but be consistent.
He's not elite, but I know.
I'd take him over Mitch Trubisky. I think he's better than. He's probably
better than
2 or 3 as a bad. That's what I mean. I would rather if I was the Bears, I'd rather Brissett than Dalton. Solid. Miami is a decent team. Brian Flores is a good coach. We've talked about it.
I still just the fact that they beat the Dolphins. That's where I give them the credit, especially the stats that.
And this is the difference between the Raiders the last 3 years versus the Raiders this year is those close games, those overtime games, the ones where they're really competing and they're playing good football, they're winning.
I would say
they're coming. They're finishing the games.
Also, winning fixes everything. When you are winning games,
yeah.
I know we're only 3 games in, but when you're winning games, it starts to build that confidence. Hey guys, we can do this. Wow, look at us, we're legit. But
I just
legit
like
is I like how you put it. They're legit, but they're not contenders.
they are like a winning football team this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 10-7. Like, I think that's actually possible. I think 11-6 is even possible. Like, they are going to be a playoff team.
And let's not forget, the Chiefs always struggle against the Raiders too.
The Raiders know how to play the Chiefs,
which is beautiful. It's just
actually they play
twice a year.
Well,
No idea
when they're playing,
Regardless,
they're a little while.
like,
November
Raiders
14th.
look good. Because listen, you know who else looked good last year too? Seattle.
It's like, can they keep it up?
Exactly.
But I actually
The only
think,
real impressive win is the Ravens.
Yes, 100%.
I actually think
With that
I'd
defense,
rather. I would rather this Raiders team than last year's Seattle team.
It's because they have a better defense.
Yeah, better defense.
That's the winner.
Seattle had no secondary.
Seattle still doesn't have a secondary.
They're still, yeah.
Russell Wilson's still just hucking it up to DK and Tyler Lockett, so it's
Yeah,
like that's what
but
he has to do.
But
But Derek Carr has a defense that can help him out.
Yeah.
But Derek Carr is also doing his part in throwing
And then,
for
like,
250
watching him-
and 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, like Derek Carr, he's probably
He's starting to put the team on his back when he has to.
total side note too. If he's available in your league and you need a backup quarterback,
Oh my
pick up
God.
fucking Derek Carr.
If you need a starting quarterback,
Why is Derek Carr like even available right now?
But that's nobody.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. But like nobody drafted the guy. Nobody like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Derek Carr's always been legit. I think he's just been overshadowed by winning franchises.
Yeah.
But as far as like being the guy, if Derek Carr was on, I don't even know, any other team, like any competent, if you move Derek Carr to like Pittsburgh right now, that team is disgusting.
oh my god,
That team is disgusting.
my Big Ben's done.
Oh god.
Can we talk about Big Ben? Actually,
wanna
now
do this no more.
this can be our new last topic. Big Ben. What irritated the crap out of me. When they came into the preseason, they're like, "Oh, Big Ben is slimmed up and like, or slimmed down, and like he looks a lot better." And I'm looking at the picture, like,
Photoshop's quite the thing.
no,
huh?
and people are looking at him like, "Oh yeah, could you buy into Big Ben, like Slim Big Ben?" I'm like, I'm sorry, I can literally see his gut through the shirt. Like, what are we talking? And I'm like, not trying to make fun of his weight or anything, but like, slim down from what? Like,
What was that?
This dude still looks pretty big to me, and I get he's a bigger guy, but I'm like,
What play was this?
I don't know. It
Like,
was
honest
this
to God,
week, the one
if
where,
you
"Oh, I'll
haven't
lose no
if
more."
you haven't seen it, he's literally there's
he just
nobody
falls.
around
he
him.
just falls.
He just fucking falls over.
Why are the Steelers riding with this man? He has been irrelevant for the past 3
Who's
years.
their backup?
Not
Haskins?
Rudolph,
Haskins.
I thought.
Oh, Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, but
What the fuck
Big
is
Ben,
Haskins?
dude.
I think he's on
I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. But like Big Ben,
yeah,
dude,
poor
is
guy.
so
not really. He fucked up.
he didn't try. I heard. But Big Ben, it's like I just didn't get why everyone's like, oh, we're gonna hype up Big Ben. I'm like, why? He's irrelevant. He literally
I could watch this all
if you
day,
look at the
bro.
last 3 preseasons, he's not trying. He's just like joking around. Every time he's done a game, he looks like Kobe Bryant's knees with ice all over his body. What are we doing? Like Steelers, you are only holding on because you literally have nothing left. Big Ben has not been that guy in a long time, and is
Sad
not that
reality
guy.
is Mike Tomlin's going to pull a winning season straight out of his ass.
And
Yeah,
I think that's more
somehow.
respect towards Mike Tomlin because he's
Yeah.
got a great defense.
Dude, it's been respect towards Mike Tomlin for the last like 3 years.
I
to be
know.
completely honest, 'cause Big Ben has not.
What
been that
is
guy.
Big Ben? I will say, if you go back, actually, he threw for 5,000 yards, which blew my mind because I'm like, how? How is Big Ben?
He's had his moments. Don't get me wrong. He's a Hall
Yeah,
of Fame
how-
quarterback.
Hall of Famer.
Oh, Hall of Famer, absolutely.
I'm not questioning his whole career.
I mean,
I'm
but
questioning
right now,
why is that man still in there?
yank him.
I mean, I would too, but who do you have? Mason Rudolph? He's
Dwayne,
not
baby. Dwayne Haskins. I'm pretty sure he's on Pittsburgh.
But just Big Ben. How is he still relevant? It's his name. It's literally his name, and he's with the Steelers. He is the black and gold. That's what it has been for the past. I'm gonna say 10.
Well, Mike
15
Tomlin's
plus years.
Mike
whatever.
Tomlin's showing him the loyalty I wish Bill Belichick showed Brady.
I don't even think it's that.
I mean, I think it's more who would they go
I just
to?
think it's more
Who would
they don't
go
have
to?
anyone exactly. They don't have anyone else. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. Belichick had a guy before and then was like,
Well, at this point, I'd rather if Mason Rudolph's still there, I'd rather Mason Rudolph than Big Ben. I think he
I
gives you
think
more of
that
a
no
chance.
matter-
That one
how,
play alone, there is nobody. There's not even an offensive lineman on the screen, and he throws it away and falls and trips over his own feet.
he literally. I'm.
There's not even an offense. Not only is there not a Bengals defensive lineman on the screen, there is not an offensive lineman on
shout
the
out
screen.
Bengals. Absolutely. 2-1.
Shout out the Bengals. We said it earlier. Shout out the Bengals.
Big Ben, I just don't get why people are like, we can buy into Big Ben. I'm like, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
What has he done in the last 5 years to
Jeremy-
make him relevant.
Jeremy, if you're listening, drop Big Ben.
Oh my
Don't-
god, I
that's
can't
our-
believe you did that.
That's our buddy in our fantasy league. But yeah,
Drop-
I mean,
drop Big Ben.
I just had to talk about Big Ben real quick. Is when people are like, look at Slim Big Ben, I'm like, I'm sorry, he's not slim. Like, what do you mean slimmer from compared to what Vince Wilfork? Like,
That was like, dude, that was
I'm
like,
not once again not trying to shit on him, but like he's not. He's a big dude in general, but like
that was like the Red Sox media when they did with Pablo.
what are we doing?
I was like,
yeah,
They were like-
that
they were
is phenomenal.
They were like, look at Pablo slimmed down. Meanwhile, the photo they used, you see his stretch marks that go up to his titty,
That is a
like just,
phenomenal
from his
comparison.
waist
Well,
straight up to. I'm
just
like, what?
not
What
even
slim?
size wise. I'm talking like comparison between like when the Red Sox had Pablo Sandoval. They're like, he can be our starting third baseman, and every single person in Boston was like, no, and he's like,
Please.
we can do it, and it's
I just don't think the Steelers have another legit
They don't.
option. Don't be shocked if they. Don't be shocked if they draft a quarterback this year.
The only problem is that there's not going to be any. This is a good quarterback class.
depth chart.
Good quarterback class this coming up, but if Tomlin again pulls out a winning season, they're going to be
Which
middle of the
he's
pack.
gonna.
He's gonna. It makes no fucking sense.
Unless they have a solid veteran that they can trade and their first round pick.
Yeah, they have Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins and Joshua Dobbs, who's on IR though. Okay, as far as not having anybody, they might,
I literally think
dude, the
I
problem
just
is
think it's his name that is literally the reason he's here.
He's
It
gonna
is
have to
his
be.
name.
He's gonna have to be like. He's gonna have to do bad for like 4 weeks straight. Until.
I
Dude,
mean,
Big
when
Ben
the
is just
Bengals
so immobile and his
And that's
arm
the-
is not as good anymore. When you have to throw to the running back 14 times, shout out to Najee Harris.
Yeah, I know.
But
You know what?
like,
Fuck it. Keep
do it
betting.
again,
Feed
do
Najee.
it again.
you're telling me Dwayne Haskins
They-
and Mason Rudolph can't
Big
do
money.
that?
Well, here's
big money,
here's
big
another thing too. Pittsburgh still can't run the fucking ball. I don't know why they cannot.
You
like,
have Najee Harris. Like
but
I
like
don't
they
get.
still 40 rushing yards from Najee Harris yesterday.
It's fine. Still put up 25.
But that's only because he
That's all
had
I care.
14 catches.
which is
That's
great that
fine.
he can do that.
But like they still can't run the ball. Like I don't. Although
Just
their
move
offensive
on
line,
from Big
Just
Ben.
get Big
their
Ben
off
out.
Get
their
it.
offensive
It's
line
over.
did.
It's over.
Goodbye, Big Ben. Like literally every year it's like, is he gonna retire? Holy crap! Can he just retire? What he is not relevant. He's only on a relevant franchise. That is all he is anymore.
I actually
Big
don't
Ben
think-
is just not relevant. It's his name. People remember when he was younger and started like 13-0 and won a Super Bowl. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
I'm just so done with Big Ben.
I agree.
I'm done with him.
Whoop-de-doo.
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Big Ben, like move on.
Yeah.
Move
I agree.
on,
100%.
dude. It's over.
It's over.
I think that's all we have for today. That's all we have for today, folks. Thanks for joining us here on Sports on Tap. If you do want to support what we're doing, we will have a merch store. The link will be down in the description below, right on the bottom.
Yeah, it's
area.
so funny. It's not. Gonna
It's
be here.
never right here. It's always in the description, though.
It's gonna be right here.
Another. No, it's not. It's gonna be in the description.
Oh.
Shout out my Facebook page right here.
No, it's not gonna. Anyway, also another way to support us is to comment, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in today.